Welcome back. When we are living in Toronto, one of the great advantages of living in Toronto is the culture, is the restaurants, and is the wide range of restaurants, and pretty much anything you want to get. If you want Italian food, you want Chinese food, you want Mexican, anything you want, you can get. And that makes the restaurant industry in Toronto certainly very busy. Owner of That's Italian Ristorante, Joe Lombardo, and Chef Joe Ferraro are here. Guys, hey. Joe and Joe, good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Absolutely.
Let's make some Italian.
Yep.
What are we going to make?
Well, to start, we're going to do a little antipasto that I think is actually perfect for the spring, summertime. It's actually a little bit of arugula, which we have here, a little bit of baby arugula that we just add a little bit of a white balsamic dressing that we do make in-house.
Yep.
Then just a little bit of a touch of extra virgin olive oil. It's always extra virgin. Splash of salt and pepper. And we use this just as a bed, just because you've got to have your greens in everyday diet, of course. Just give it a little quick mix. We have our plate right here, and we just spread it out ever so gently. Try not to.
You mentioned the olive oil. And
yes.
Chefs always talk about extra virgin.
Well,
why
it's a product that is first pressed, so it's a product that you really don't want to be cooking with, really, because you will ruin it.
Yeah.
So it's something that you want to use in its raw state. Okay. So here we have some black mission figs that I've just quartered up ever so gently. And we'll spread that around. And then over here we have just a little bit of port wine, some star anise, some cinnamon sticks, a little bit of black pepper, and even some bay leaves. So, and we just make a reduction. We'll pour that over our figs.
Joe, you're the owner?
Yes, sir.
How did you get involved in the restaurant business?
My father's had a very well-known restaurant in Toronto. I've been there since I was a child, so I really, after 10 years of banking, I said I've had enough. I got to get into the family business, and here we are today.
Out of banking into restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's been great ever since.
I love every day of it. 2 years going on strong.
Oh, now that's starting to look amazing.
This is what we have. It's called speck, which is a smoked prosciutto.
Right.
So you get that little smoky flavor going on. So we'll just lay that out like that. And then I just have over here some fried shallots.
Yep.
Just fried them up, basic, some flour, salt, and pepper. And we'll scatter that around. So you just get a little bit of crunch, plus that salty, it matches well with the fruitiness of the figs.
How did you hook up with your head chef?
You know what? I just advertised online, and one day this young man just showed up, had a great interview.
Yeah.
He said, "You know what? You're hired."
Did he cook for you that day?
Actually, he didn't. He said, "Give me a chance. Give me a chance."
I'm just a great talker, actually.
So he sold me on his words.
Sold yourself.
Absolutely. And over here, we just have a little bit of Grana Padano cheese, just a little grated. And there you have it. I think a perfect appetizer for the summer.
Now that would be for a table of 2 or 3, maybe 3 or 4.
That can feed 2 people. I mean, me personally, that's good for appetizer for myself.
We like to give good portions.
Joe, can you drop the pasta for me, please?
Yes, sir. Coming right up, chef.
Right, dropping the pasta. Now, the competition in Toronto for restaurants is tremendous.
Very fierce, yes.
Whether you're talking about specific types of food, whether you're talking about just quantity of restaurants.
Yep.
What makes That's Italian different?
I think that we make everything in-house. We take a lot of pride in what we do, and we just try to be different. Try not to walk the same path that every other Italian restaurante has done.
Right.
And we just try to be ourselves. You know, try to be fresh and vibrant, and that's it.
There's a lot more than than Italian food than just spaghetti meatballs or lasagna or pizza.
Yeah.
So both Joe and I were pretty young. We like trying out different things. There's a lot of good Italian dishes that people aren't aware of, such as the figs and the speck, which it's an amazing dish. And like I said, we like to get people away from the stereotypical Italian food and try different stuff.
How often do you like to experiment with the menu?
Every day. Every day. I mean, I get very bored very easily. So if I'm not trying different stuff every day, it's time for me to pack it up and just get on to something else.
So what's next? I'll have you come over here.
Absolutely. Next we have fettuccine, and this is again a great dish for the spring, summertime.
Right.
Because it's light. I mean, everybody loves their pasta, but again, when it's hot outside, you don't really want to be eating a whole load of it. So we start off by sauteing some red onions. Add in our green onions. Now these are aromatics. These will flavor your dish at the end. Of course, we are Italian, so you gotta have some garlic.
Absolutely. How long have you been cooking?
Professionally, 14 years now. So, but I mean, I've been doing it all my life. It's been in my family forever. My parents owned a restaurant when I was younger, and I got into doing banquet halls when I was a little kid, and it's in my blood, right?
Yeah, you always hear about the passion of chefs. Really good chefs have the passion. Did you see the passion in him when he came in and you were starting up this restaurant?
Definitely. You know what? He actually comes to work before I do. I've never seen a chef come to work at 9 o'clock in the morning to prep everything, make sure everything is good and fresh. So he's a great guy.
Now, what have you added to that, Joe?
I added some roasted pine nuts that we roasted, of course, beforehand.
Right.
And I added the smoked pancetta also. Now we're just going to render off the fat from the pancetta. Now this is also going to flavor your pasta at the end. We're going to add a little bit of butter because everybody loves butter.
Everybody loves butter.
Yeah, it's just a little bit. It's just a little bit of butter.
Believe me, the one thing that television has to invent is the ability to smell a cooking
smell-o-vision, yes.
at home, because
Yes.
I mean, it's all I can do not to grab a fork and grab some of this stuff. But
I think Emeril Lagasse was the first one that he started it all. You know, with the you got to be able to smell it. It's smell-o-vision, most definitely.
Who were your influences when you were?
I would definitely say Emeril has been a big influence. Gordon Ramsay, my mother, for sure. My mother got me into it, and that's it. I've always tried to be different. I never want to be the same guy that follows. I always want to be somebody that creates my own.
Right.
You know, and that's very important to me. So now we added the lamb shank, which is we braise it off. Of course, it's the lamb shank. We braise it off for about 2-3 hours. Once it gets cold, then we just shred it apart. Now, even if you didn't want to add lamb, and viewers at home, you guys don't have time to make your own lamb, you can always substitute it for shrimp or chicken, strips of beef, or even if you want to keep it vegetarian, you can just add some spinach, and there you go. So now that once we add the lamb, we get it warmed through. Fettuccine is now cooked to perfection. Now, you always want to add a little bit of the cooking liquid because in there's a lot of starch. Now look at that. That's just looking spectacular.
I should have eaten this morning.
Oh, you're definitely going to have some of this.
Oh, I will. Don't you worry.
So we add a little bit of salt and pepper. We have just a basil puree, which is just straight basil and olive oil. And we finish off with some lemon juice.
Wow.
Joe, can you please grab the plate from behind?
You've got to spend time in the kitchen, I'm sure, just watching this stuff go on, just being able to enjoy it.
I'm the guinea pig.
Now, how hands-on are you as an owner?
Very hands-on. Very hands-on.
Maybe I should have asked.
He's very hands-on.
Joe's the master of his domain in the kitchen.
Right.
I'm the front of the house.
Yeah.
Like doing the advertisements, getting the clients in, just talking to them, getting some feedback, and letting him know. Because ultimately, it's what the client is willing to eat.
So, I'm going to eat that.
Yeah, well,
Maybe
I'm hoping you are. Yeah, absolutely. Because
thanks very much for coming in. That'sitalian.ca is the place to go as you plate that for me.
Now this is Italian.
That's indeed.
This is Italian.
Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
Thank you
very much.
Paul.
Best of luck. That'sitalian.ca. When we come back, Marosha will be chatting with the